So what we're gonna do here is take this plate. Let's see, my spool's gonna want to go on it. So I usually like going second course down or top course, minimize the water intrusion. Let's see, that'll be fine for the spool. So we'll actually do this course. So we'll do this course here, second one down, first full course. Now that we know, I'm gonna sound out, find the rafter. Just gentle taps, you don't have to smash the roof. Just nice, gentle. And you should be able to tell the difference in sound where the rafter is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our plate. We're just going to set a few screws. Making sure that we're only on this course, so that way we can fill them all with one flatty flashing. I know it looks weird just screwing down to the roof, but don't worry, we're gonna fix it. And remember, we're gonna have pitch hoppers too, so we'll have some extra stability. This is just gonna be kind of for peace of mind. All right, we're hooked in now. So that's basically the first thing you gotta do when you get up on the roof is find some sort of attachment point. All right, so this array's up below the ridge, so this top piece is gonna be kind of tight, but we'll be able to make it work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna need to measure out pieces of what we're gonna cut. Let's see, I'll try and do this one in, I guess maybe 3 pieces. So I'll start from this end. We'll go 95 plus a cell or 2. So I'll say 95 plus 6, 101. So now what we'll do is we'll get a piece 101, we'll cut it, custom bend it, clip it on. I usually like to start with the top and bottoms first and then put on the sides afterwards, so that way if we need to access any of the wiring or anything, we can just pull off the side pieces. All right, now grab some cage, some clips, some cutters. Cage, clips, cutters. Actually, you know what? Put the blammer back in there, we won't be needing that anymore. Cage, clips, cutters. You good boy, IG. Did you fall in there? Nope. Almost. Yeah, you get out of there. Don't you fall in there. Another tip, when setting up ladders, don't set up in front of a window. It just kind of creeps people out. You know, try and set up on a fair, like a blank space of wall. God forbid if it's somebody's bedroom or a bathroom. If you're going up and down the ladder, you know, you don't want to make people uncomfortable, think that somebody's looking at them through their windows or something. So always try and set up on roof space. I mean on wall space, sorry. So there's our cut. Now comes the tricky part for the top, because we got this ridge here. So we're gonna lay the cage out flat. And we want it to be right up against, flat against the roof, not against the ridge cap there. And you can see there's not much space for this stuff. So this one might be a little tight ski. And so what we gotta do is put a back bend on it. You can see I'm just using the edge of the module frame as this hard 90 to bend the wire. And hopefully, if you're lucky, you can line it up with this grid line here and kind of keep an eyeball on it the whole way. So then once you got a pretty decent 90, just give it a little bit more of a bend. We want it to be kind of tight, a little acute, if you will. Comment below if you remember that from geometry class. An acute angle, which is slightly less than 90 degrees. Alright, and then we're going to flip it around so that flat angle that we just bent is going to be up against the array like that. So as you can see, nothing's going to be able to climb in underneath there. So we'll hold that off for just a second. Grab some of our clips. I forgot the linesman's. I had them in my hand. I knew I needed them for something. Let's see, I'll move those over there. Okay, so then what do we say, like 6 inches or so? Again, doesn't have to be exact. This is going to be our bend around the corner there. So what we need to do is we need to cut some of these. I'm going to try and leave that. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend this as a 90, so it's going to wrap around that corner, just like so. At least get a whole driveway. So what we want is kind of a little bit of a back bend as well on this piece, so it kind of wedges itself up against the ridge cap. And again, with this situation, it's kind of right up against the ridge cap, so there's not much we can do. And then we're gonna just kind of pinch that side. And up with the back edge there. So if you get it right, you can see it kind of pushes it down up against the roof. So we're going to start at our corner, work our way back, try and get it as close to the panel as you can. I mean, like, so that this gap here where we just insert it through is as small as possible. And that's going to hold the cage tight. And so sometimes what you can do is solar serpent. Sometimes what you can do is you can bend this top edge, yeah, into the groove there. So you can see these sun power panels have this little channel. That's like their Invisimount channel, mounts for their Invisimount rails, which is the rail system that we saw. And so it can be kind of a little tricky, but if you can wedge the grid into that profile, you almost don't even need any clips. But obviously we're gonna put clips on here, because otherwise you get stuff like that every once in a while, or you can get stuff like that. So with this one, let's see if we can't make that one not too. So in order to get these spiffy clips out, you just basically pull them and see it unbends them. And they're single use, which is kind of a bummer, but all right, come on. And you can kind of manhandle the cage a little bit, but again, when you get to the corners, just try and be careful, because we want those to be nice and neat. And this piece will eventually get covered by the edge pieces, but the corners seem to be kind of what's noticeable the most. So I like to just kind of firm them down a little bit more. And again, none of this top edge is going to be visible anyway. You relax, Archie, stop. So what I'll do is I'll go one right near the first seam. It's probably got the microinverter there. So you just gotta watch out for the microinverter attachment. And so this is why I like to have a pair of pliers to kind of hold them. So I'll skip two. Let's see, watch out. Yep, there's a clip there. And so then, yeah, you just basically press that washer down. As you can see, it once you press it down, it doesn't really want to come back off. So I'll usually try and get like 3 per panel. You know, 1.5, 2 inch, 2 squares in. And again, you can kind of work with that a little bit, but that's why I found 3 per panel to be a good number. Which comes out to about every foot or so. 41 inches, you know, not exact, but so as you can see, they just basically hook onto the module frame. And that's it. So we're just gonna insert it, hook it, press it, and that's gonna hold the cage in place. And again, we just gotta watch out for wherever there are other connectors and wires. Then once we're done, just trim off the tails. I like to leave a little bit, you know, something to grab onto, because you don't really notice it from the ground, but if you ever have to come back and pull these clips off, it just makes it a little bit nicer. You got something that you can grab with pliers and pull it out straight. And try and trim them so that they're nice and flush, so that they're pretty consistent, so that if it is visible from the ground, it's not that noticeable.